I was giggling to myself a few minutes ago because when uh, you first started with your share, Brother Bob, you started sharing on deepening a focus on the lyrics of I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And let me tell you that that was my plan for what I wanted to share this morning. So I got a big giggle about that, and I thought, well, that's it was God's plan for that to be a part of our time together. It wasn't God's plan that it came through my mouth or was my idea that we deepen it. It was God's plan that it was already set in place. And I feel so blessed by the sharing that you brought uh, to us to share with us this morning, Brother Bob. I also was extremely blessed by your sharing as well, Sister Deb and my sister Maya. I love receiving so much. And so, one of the thoughts that I had when I was going to focus on the lyrics and the depths of meaning and what those lyrics share was that I knew that we were going to have sharing today from some community members, but I was actually going to ask for even more sharing from community members on that theme so that I could be even more fed. I love the season of Lent in the way that Unity presents it. I remember as a child that we were not Catholics, but I went to school with a number of Catholic children, and uh, the influence of Lent was taken on by other spiritual forums other than Catholicism. I do remember that during the Lenten season in the Pentecostal church, it was not focused, we were not so much focused on sacrificing like my Catholic friends. They would talk about, well, on Lent leading up to Easter, you have to give up something that you like. I'm giving up candy. I'm giving up chocolate. Mom's giving up cakes and pies. You're going to give up this or that or the other in preparation for the resurrection Sunday on Easter. And you sacrifice these things to let God know that God is more important than chocolate, candy, cakes, watching your favorite television shows or doing entertaining type things. In the Pentecostal church, what we picked up from the Catholic process of Lent was the idea that they put ashes on their foreheads on uh, Ash Wednesday, and that they spoke words during their service on Ash Wednesday, which boiled down to from the dust you have come, and to the dust you will return. Pentecostals, we thought that this was a wonderful reminder that we are not here to stay, that this earth is not our home, that the lives we are living here are temporary ones, and that we needed to be about things eternal. So we acknowledge that physical food that we eat, it keeps us satiated and it keeps us provided with enough nutrients to keep us alive for a while. And then we need to partake of more physical food to keep the body temple alive. And for the Pentecostals, it was like the idea of sacrificing, the idea of fasting from eating was so that rather than eating a bowl of soup right now during this hour of time, I'm going to be sitting literally at the table with no physical food. I'm going to have my eyes closed. I'm going to be breathing deeply. And I'm going to be thanking God for the soul food that I receive, the food for the soul. And I was going to concentrate on all of my blessings and count them one by one so that I could recognize how nourished I always have been and always will be because I am surrounded by so many blessings. So we would sing songs in the Pentecostal church during Lent in honor of the reminder that we are not here to stay. You know, they used to say ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So you've come from the ground, you will return to the grounds. We would sing songs like work while it is day, work while it is day. Hurry, children, hurry, work while it is day. The sun is going down. The sun is going down. So hurry, children, hurry. The sun is going down. And the work that we were referring to in that ministry was the work of reconnecting ourselves to a relationship of being a child of God, that we need to do all we can to remember who we are and whose we are. That was a big deal for us, to remember that we are the children of God, to remember that nothing shall ever be able to separate us from the love of God, that this is the work. The work, seems to be many times to get the right job, to get the right house, to get the right spouse, to have the right children, to get the right education, to make the right amount of money. So during the Lenten season, we were reminding ourselves that these are earthly pursuits: getting a big house, having a nice car, having whatever, having relationships, uh, having the right job, having the right education, having some clout and authority in your particular domain of living life. But that these things are wonderful, and that these are what the scripture refers to, the things that will be added unto you. So during this Lenten season, we would be reminded that to seek you first, the kingdom of God, to seek you first, and understanding that the power of God is everywhere and it is within us, and that we have access to it, and that our only freedom and our only liberty, it could never come from the world. Our freedom and our liberty was not in the hands of government officials. It was not in the hands of those who were empowered to make the rules and the regulations. That our liberty comes only from God. And so the fasting idea was simply taking time to sup on soul food, which is not physical food. It's not beans and rice and Jesus Christ. It's just the Jesus Christ part. I'm going to sup on soul food. Uh, because I do want to remember to work while it is day, to be about the work of the transformation of my mind on a day-to-day process. This leads up to not only the celebration for the resurrection of Jesus from the cross, but it leads us up to the potential for each and every one of us to be resurrected. Now, the word for today, the daily word is release, and release to me is very, very close to resurrection. In the resurrection, you must release one aspect of being in order to be reborn into another aspect of being. So for the Pentecostals, Jesus laying down his body on the cross was like laying down an attachment to earthly identity, the erroneous misconcept that I am a human being. We've all heard the term a spiritual being having a human experience. Well, for most people, as good as it gets is an identity of being a human being having a spiritual experience. A friend of mine communicated with me this past week that he does not like the fact that the prayer of protection got changed into it got added to. Uh, he's very disturbed by it. he had never brought this up to me. This was something he was holding. But he said that, I'm from Unity. He hasn't been a part of Unity in at least 20 some years. But when he was a part of Unity, Miami on the Bay, he talked about how wonderful it was for him each Sunday to be a part of a group of people saying, "The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well." He explained that for him, it was because that spoke of who he really believes he is and we are. He brought to my attention that he does not believe it is possible for human beings to ever be able to add on the affirmations that are added on in the enhanced version of the prayer for protection. So he said, when I hear people going, "The light of God surrounds me," I go, "That's true." But then when they go on to say, "I am the light of God," I go, "That's not true." And then they go, "The love of God enfolds me." And I go, "That's true." And then they follow that up with, "I am the love of God." And I go, "That's not true." And then they go, "The power of God protects me." And I go, "That's true." And then they go, "I am the power of God." And I go, "That's not true." And then they go, "The presence of God watches over me." And I go, "That's true." And then they go, "I am the presence of God." And I go, "That's not true." He said, Reverend Carlos, I think it's an erroneous misconception for us to be speaking the added on parts to the prayer for protection that I knew in Unity 32 years ago. And he said, he said, "I have a sneaking suspicion that you, Reverend Carlos, made that up, that you made up that additional part, that this is your thing." Which is why I'm addressing you, because I want you to know that, in my opinion, you are guiding people to speak words that cannot be true. Because how is a human being? We are all human beings, Reverend Carlos. How is any human being ever going to make the claim, "I am the love of God. I am the light of God"? I said, "Well, first of all, brother, I do want to inform you that this is not a Carlos-ism. You've only heard it from me because you've not been around Unity or Unity churches in the last 30 years. But this is called the enhanced prayer for protection. And it is something that is spoken in the predominant number of Unity churches that I am aware of, been involved in, and have friends who are attending." And I said, your challenge, my brother, is that you have said over and over again, "How is any human being?" or "I'm a human being," or "You're just a human being." And I said, brother, where we are moving in the transformation of our minds is we are moving away from the self-identification that I am just a human being. We are claiming our fellowship. We are claiming our kinship with God. We are claiming our oneness with the power and the presence of God. So when Jesus says, "You are the light of the world," he means that. And so when I say, "I am the light of the world," I am coming from my divine nature. It is though, my brother, that when I speak the words, "The light of God surrounds me," I can keep the identity going on that I am just something separate from God. I'm a human being. I am fragile. I am frail. I am in the darkness. So thank you, God, that the light of God surrounds me, because I am other than that. When you follow it up with, "I am the light of God," you are taking ownership of being part of God, knowing that you are a living expression of God. So that led me to believe how many people, and my brother who was speaking to me, one of his favorite things to say over decades that I've known him, one of his favorite quotes: we are spiritual beings having a human experience. But where he was explaining he really lives is, I'm a human being grateful that spirit is available. And I know that there are times where, for me, I'm in touch with both of those things. I'm in touch with an honoring of my humanity and my divinity, where there is a part of me at times which forgets that I am at one with the Creator and every aspect of creation, where I do feel like a lone ranger, where I do feel like lost in my own humanity, where that piece of me can go, the light of God surrounds me. And I tap into this great power that seems to be beyond me, seems to be other than me, is right now blessing me. And then I have many times where I'm abundantly clear that I am the light of God. And there are times where in my mind's eye, when I think about the light of God surrounding me, where in my mind's eye, when my eyes are closed, I see that light shining from inside my heart, shining throughout the universe, being lifted up and then raining back down on me again. So it's not like I'm being showered with something other than what and who I am, but a higher aspect, the highest aspect of who and what I am. I just love that people do take the time to think about, what does this mean for me? And that if they have questions, they bring them forward. If they have confusions, that they ask for clarity. So I was really grateful that my brother, even though it did not appear to me at the end of our discourse that there was anything changed, but the one thing that was changed was that he had the willingness to share with me. And he ended up by saying, quite frankly, Reverend Carlos, I think it's going to forever bug me to hear the enhanced version of the prayer for protection, because I do not believe in my lifetime that I will ever come to believe that mere mortals can truly claim, I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the power of God. I am the presence of God. And so I said, well, brother man, it is not my mission to try to change you or your interpretation. I simply wanted to offer that there is a difference between the idea that I am not God, I am separate from God, and therefore I thank God for blessing me, shining on me, and keeping me. Then knowing, I thank God for blessing me, shining upon me, and keeping me. And I agree with Jesus that I and the Father are one, that I am both human and divine. And I am very good at acknowledging my humanity. I've mastered that. I am working on mastering the truth of my divinity. And I give you one more thing, which is in line with the purification process as we are in this Lenten season, preparing to be resurrected on Easter Sunday along with Jesus. I believe I may have shared it with you before, and if I have, it was quite a while ago. And so I bring it here on Lenten season. It is a purification mantra. You can close your eyes and breathe into your heart to receive, if you wouldn't mind. May the things I've done to harm be not repeated. May the things I've done to harm be not repeated. May the fear in me be dissolved by heartfelt peace, along with all the anger and sadness I have ever known. May they be shined away and made to disappear in the blazing light of my highest self that shines right now through my mind and heart and body. May I be renewed and replenished in peace and in love, over and over and again and again. And may the things I've done to harm be not repeated. May I grow in excellence, and may I support others to grow in excellence. May I express ever more elegant ways of being and live my life moments in highest integrity. May I deepen my gratitude for all I am, for all I have, for all I give, and for all I am willing to receive. May I focus my attention on what is true and honest and pure and just and lovely and virtuous and praiseworthy. And may the things I've done to harm be not repeated. May the condemning nature of my ego identification die daily. May both my heart and mind be transformed by the great powers of acceptance, forgiveness, and inclusion. May I think, speak, and act thoughts, words, and deeds filled with courage and authenticity. May my life become a living testament to human kindness. May I live to love, and may I love to live. May I be an ever-opening channel for the inflow and outpour of blessings, and may the things I've done to harm be not repeated. May I be emptied of thoughts of victimization and vindictiveness and contentiousness. May I be emptied of feelings of greed and lust and envy and jealousy. May I trust in infinite possibilities and proceed with passion on the sacred journey of my true self-revelation. May I be true and honest and fair in all my dealings. May I forward peace on earth and goodwill to everyone, everywhere, all the time, to the best of my ability. And may the things I've done to harm be not repeated. May all that I think and feel and say and do be in alignment with my own highest choice of who it is possible for me to be. May my intentions be honorable in all ways, regarding all things, and for the good of all beings. May I cherish planet Earth and all her citizens. May I love as I would be loved. And may I be slow to anger and quick to forgive. May I count my many blessings as a ritual of gratitude all the days of my life, and meet my life challenges with grace and steady calm. May I be known for my gentleness and for my willingness to extend mercy and amnesty to those who have wronged me or who have failed to live up to my expectations of them. And may the things I've done to harm be not repeated. May the things I've done to harm be not repeated. May the things I've done to harm be not repeated. Amen.